We live.
Hotep Jesus, what's going on, man?
What's it up, man? How you feeling, man? I'm
All
feeling
right,
good.
all right, man. I'm all right, man. Hotep's been told you, episode 15. We're back at it again. Here to give y'all the news of the week. Here to give y'all the breakdown. We're back at it, man.
Oh yeah.
Yo, and it's been crazy. There's people getting arrested right now. We'll get to Amy Schumer's. I want to call her name, but we'll get to Amy Schumer later. She got just locked up. That's some breaking news. You know what I mean? We're giving you the breaking news right now. But let's start off in Nogville, man. Let's start off in Nogville. Joe Budden versus Cy the Prince, man. Joe Budden said, get $500,000. He'll battle Cy. Cy said, I got 500 grand. Joe Budden said, man, I don't know what to do. Is Joe Budden a bitch or what, man?
Joe not taking it?
He said, no, man. He had kind of had an explanation on his podcast. He said he's busy. So if they can work something out, maybe they'll get to it. But he kind of backtracked off that.
You know, he's actually being consistent because he said he's not going to be rapping about a lot of people. So he is consistent. Another side of me is looking at this like, yo, Cy ain't like a walk in the park.
No.
Walk in the park. So if Budden do come out of retirement, I don't suggest Cy be his first opponent. You know, he'd be better. He'll have better luck with Eminem.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah. You know, my bad. My favorite tape, you know, that the NAACP tape that Cy did, you know, and Joe, I think he got Cy messed up. Cy sampled Pastor Manning in the first track. You know what I'm saying? So that's how he kind of views, like he wants black folks to do better. He's, you know what I mean, that bootstrap routine, Hotep, if you will. You know, and Joe he's leaning towards this leftism. He's become this media sensation in hip hop. So he's following the line. He's not going. He's not crossing the line or anything. He's being a total black leftist. You know, he should leave Cy alone, man. And if he keeps saying, "Oh, I'll wash him up with a rap," you can't do that. If you're going to be a media Joe, be media Joe. Don't make all these statements saying you can out rap Cy. You would dust them off. You were retired. No more rap talk, Joe Budden. Leave it alone. All this shit talking you're doing, man. You don't want the rap game no more. You got the media game. You got your money. You don't want the crown. If you want the crown, you would get back in the booth.
Wait. He sparked it? Joe Budden sparked it and then Cy responded?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So if Joe is out here talking about he could out rap somebody, then he gotta step in front of the mic.
Definitely.
You can't do that, especially with a guy like Cy. That's an MC. That's not a rapper. That's not a hip hop artist. That's an MC. Joe, you gotta step in front of that mic, Aki.
We got super chat, man.
Oh, word. I love super chats, man. Oh, my homie Lipster, yo, that's the homie right there. He supports all of the shirts from magasuperstore.com. Link is in the bio. He said Big L rolling over in his grave at the current state of hip hop. Yo, RIP Big L. Big L, superstar in hip hop, legend history. Big L was a force. Man, if Big L was around, a lot of cats wouldn't be who they are today.
Definitely. Moving on, we'll see. So we'll see what happens with Budden and Cy. I don't expect Budden to drop any music. But yesterday, they tried out the presidential alert, man. I think I just got out of the meeting. I guess got the text. And I didn't think anything of it, man. I go on social media. People are like, fuck Trump. I mean, what? F Trump, F this, F that. Why is he taking on my phone, man? I'm like, why were people getting so upset about this? They've been had the technology to do this. They just did it. They do it with the Amber Alert. You know what I mean? You got to actually manually turn it off in your phones. But a lot of people get the Amber Alerts. Why were people upset? Is it just because of Donald Trump? He's behind it?
It was absolutely just another excuse for the left to complain about Donald Trump. In fact, when the alert was when we first found out that the alert was going to go out. I said, oh man, here we go. Leftists about to complain about Trump. I knew it right off bat. So I was prepared for it. The other thing I knew was this started under the Obama administration. So I'm like, all right, so I'm going to have to school somebody at some point and let them know the Obama administration is the one that set this alert up, right? So we knew that. Mm-hmm. So of course the message went out and everybody started to complain. I'm just like, here we go, man. A bunch of babies looking to cry about something. That's what I call narcissistic victim complex. And I think that's what they got. It's like they played a role of a victim to selfishly grab sympathy so they can feel better about themselves. They have like powwows, like online powwows to hate Trump. It's the corniest shit ever.
These people are sick, man. They got this Trump. Was it TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, man?
TDS. Yup.
That's crazy. You know, I used to work in a service desk, aka the help desk, right? And for a company, and we used to take care of everybody's cell phones and shit like that. You know, so we had to manage the cell phones for the company, and you get amazed about what the companies can do through your phone. Like people are worried about this is the first step of Big Brother. You know what I mean? I'm like, they could do this. If you have this, they can track you wherever you go. You know what I mean? It's just that simple. You better get your ass an old flip phone, them old Nokias or whatever, if you don't want to be part of the network. But if you have a smartphone, your shit, if they want to find you or find out what you're doing, they probably can turn it off and put an eavesdropping and hear your damn conversations.
Right. I mean, look at the story that hit. I want to say this was accused in 2015, but then today it popped back up. China was, they implanted microchips inside of 30 U.S. corporations, companies, including Google and Apple. This chip is the size of a piece of rice. No pun intended. But what we have is the capability to easily spy on people because of these electronic devices. So for people to say, oh my God, this Amber Alert, President Trump, like y'all gave up that right at the beginning. I want to say the beginning of Obama's administration with the Patriot Act, right?
Yeah.
I think it was the Patriot Act that basically allowed a lot of this surveillance stuff to happen under the guise of national security. But like you said, because these devices are digital and no longer analog, like the old Nokia flip phones and Blackberries, etc., digital makes it easy to intercept and spy. There's a device, I believe it's called the Stingray. I'm not sure, but this device costs, I want to say it costs about $1,500. I have the number 5 in my head. So it's either $1,500 or $5,000. I'm leaning towards $1,500. But basically you take this gun and you aim it at somebody from, I want to say within maybe like 20 feet or something like that. And you aim it at their cell phone, and you can access all things on their cell phone, including metadata. So any deleted pictures you can also pull out too. I want to say Ohio police or some police force has access to this thing. But you can buy this thing right online and I think that's how a lot of celeb nudes were getting leaked. I think that people were like riding down Rodeo Drive, just aiming his gun and then just like pulling images off of people's cell phones. Also, we have nanotechnology. So with the emergence of nanotechnology, you have the capabilities to inject surveillance devices or tracking devices when somebody goes to the doctor, and does, any type of blood work. You can plant chips inside fabric. In fact, there's this thing called flash tags. You can buy Hotep Jesus flash tags, and these flash tags are like stickers, and then people can use like this scanner and they can scan it and it pops up my YouTube video. But that's something we're selling for $4.99. I can put a tracking device in that damn thing if I wanted to. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's crazy about China. We keep talking about, Iran and everything else, Russia. It seems to me that there's going to be a confrontation down the line between the United States and China. Like, and China is doing their best to, purchase America. Like, Trump has accused China of trying to influence the coming elections now, and I believe it because they've been trying to buy a property in the United States. They're trying to buy up pieces of the United States like every other country trying to buy a piece of the United States. And I think it's going to come to a head one of these days.
Alex Jones was talking about it. Alex Jones was talking about, China and China and China. And they called him fake news, but it's like, nah, he's being very real. In fact, when I went to Tanzania, Africa, and I was speaking to my brothers down there, they were letting me know China coming to gobble up everything. They come in and gobble up everything. What they do is, I've said this a bunch of times, they come in and they say, hey, look, your people are sick. We'll build a hospital. We'll build a stadium. In fact, the last project they were doing, China was building a stadium. And they said in exchange for the stadium, I think they wanted first dibs to water underneath the surface. So it kind of lets you know like how China's moving. China's colonizing in an economic manner and not so totalitarian or violent manner, I should say. But China's a force that I think the powers that be, as we saw with Feinstein and her Chinese driver, I think John Jay's peoples have a deal because they have a central bank in China. I think they have a deal with China. And I think that John Jay's people's existence is secure and they don't mind if there's an extermination of black and white peoples.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll move on to the next host.
Nod to the left.
But there was another thing that China is like some of the materials for cell phones and for weapons, they're hoarding the materials for that. So at the end of the day, the materials that the United States is going to need for weapons, they're going to have to either get it from China, steal it from China, but China's cornering the market on it.
Oh yeah, they're coming for the natural
playing the long game here.
Yep.
Kanye West,
my guy.
He went on Saturday Night Live. They cut him off. His rant really wasn't on it. Shout out to Chris Rock for catching it, but he's catching hell for it, man, as usual. What do you think about it, man?
Kanye is being the Hotep Kanye we've always been proud of. He's the only black celebrity we have to depend on. We're going to talk about Remy Ma. I think Remy Ma is up for a nomination to be in that category. But he's the only black celebrity that black people have that's going to tell us the truth, the cold truth, the raw truth, the unfiltered truth. And what we saw, what is it, NBC? I believe that SNL comes on.
Yeah.
What we saw NBC do was they cut into the clip and they cut out the part where he was talking about the Democratic Party. And do you remember his exact quote?
He said it's a Democratic plan to keep black fathers out of the family.
You see what I'm saying? Now we know that message right there is actually the antithesis to Black Lives Matter, because Black Lives Matter on their website, they omitted fathers. They said mothers, children, parents. They have omitted that stuff, right?
Right.
So we know that Black Lives Matter and the black left have no want or need for black men or black fathers. So Kanye is the only one that's stepping up and is actually out here giving the people a real message and the truth, the same message our Hotep ancestors have been saying for years. And the people are rejecting it. The celebrities are rejecting it. Snoop Dogg is rejecting it. I don't know how high Snoop is getting, I don't know what Snoop is smoking. Shout out to DJ Pooh. He follows me on Twitter. DJ Pooh, if you watching, can you get me like a phone call or a meeting? I'll fly out to go see Snoop. I just want to talk to him real quick and kind of like figure out where his head is at.
Yeah.
Because the last thing hip hop needs is for our OGs to be spitting the wrong message out here. And the OGs, I feel like, are getting so old that they're detached from the truth. You know, sometimes, like even with old folks now, you know, they get a rise out of having a black tennis champion. They get a rise, you know, it's like every time there's a sporting event on TV or some sort of event, it's like we're rooting for the black person, as if we're gaining some equity with that black person, you know, like, oh, this is the first black person to win this Grammy nomination. Like, what the fuck does that even mean, right? But I feel like it's that older generation who saw so much in as far as the whole civil rights and oppression is concerned, that any little win means so much to them. And I think that now our wins have to have some real equity behind it, and not these moral victories. And it seems like Snoop and a lot of these other rappers are falling into that same category where we just want moral victories, where, you know, what happened to knowing that the media is lying to us? You know, what happened to that? Where's that message? Pac was talking about that message. You know, like how did we lose that message? So when you see the media is lambasting and ostracizing our president Trump, you have to say to yourself, well, is this the truth? You know, when we look at CNN's ratings, CNN goes from, you know, 450,000 viewers for Anderson Cooper show to 900,000. You know, I'm rounding the figures off, but they basically double their viewership based upon Trump's presidency. You see what I'm saying? Based upon Trump's presidency alone. So the media has a financial interest to use Trump to get more money, and they're using the energy of the left to fuel this machine. They are actually a resource. They're using the left as a human resource to fuel this machine, to drive division between the people, to drive division between blacks and whites.
Yeah. And on a smaller scale, I think the same thing happening with Trump in the media, I think is happening with Kanye in the media, or as far as, you know, the Nog media, whatever, the urban media.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, Snoop Dogg is all, what do you think? Everybody's asking, what do you think about Kanye? You know, it's a quick soundbite. This is something they can throw out there, you know, and for Snoop to call him an Uncle Tom when just a couple years ago he had two women in dog collars walking down the street. You know what I mean? Let's be honest here, Snoop. I mean, everybody has, I mean, is going to disagree on some things you've done, and people can call you a Tom or a coon or whatever you call for even doing that. And then you have Swiss Beats out there talking about, oh man, Kanye about the abolish. You know, the abolish the when he said, he kind of misspoke. But I read the Washington Post. They were like, well, yeah, Kanye is sort of right about that. You know what I mean? But we don't hear that. You know what I mean? The Nows don't go back and read that. We're like, oh, my bad, Kanye. Nobody's saying, oh, my bad, Kanye. You know, nobody's apologized or anything else. They just leave that out there and just keep it moving. But people are actually, Kanye is actually pulling a Trump. He's going out there, just being in people's faces, saying what he wants to say, and the people are reacting off of it.
Yeah. I got a Laura Ingram message for Swiss Beats. Shut up and produce. Really, because when you come out here and you start speaking on things you're not educated on, I remember the 13th documentary hit Netflix, and everybody was like, oh my God, 13th Amendment, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, y'all just now finding out about this? Like, this is basic Hotep doctrine. Like, kids learn this in, you know what I mean, like 6th grade, as far as Hotep is concerned, you know? And so we knew about the 13th Amendment and how that makes slavery legal, because Hillary Clinton was using the 13th Amendment to her advantage. She was taking prison inmates and using them on her own private property. So this is true. This is true. So for Swiss Beats to come out and speak against Kanye with the 13th Amendment, It's just like, yo, like it only takes but a 13-second duck go search to find the information. You know, just hit duck go up and search. It takes, you know, we have all these devices and people don't take a second to just fact check. And it's like, if you would have fact checked, you would have found out Kanye is right and he's on your side. Now, people are complaining about Kanye, but if you listen to Yeezus, what year did Yeezus come out? I know Lipster knows, or somebody could look it up in the chat, but this was before Trump when Yeezus dropped. And on Yeezus, he says the CCA teamed up the CCA teamed up with the DEA. They try and lock niggas up. They try and make new slaves. This was on the New Slaves track. So Kanye has been talking about this stuff. He been red pilling people. They not listening to the music. So when he comes out and talks about slavery, and then now people, so he went from slavery is a choice to slavery still exists. So how are people still up in arms? They got to pick a side. They either got to say he was wrong then or he's wrong now. But either way, that requires them to say he's right now or right then.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And they're not correcting themselves because this is the left. This is how bigotry and hypocrisy works.
Yeah. I say one thing. Kanye got to come up with the MAGA red Yeezys, man. Come out with the MAGA red Yeezys, man. Like, imagine he would break the internet if he come up with the MAGA red Jaws, man.
Yeah.
I would order like 2 pair, man.
Yeah, bruh. That would be so fire. And on that note, I got to do some product endorsement. I got to do some product placement. And is this the... I gotta share the new Yeezy, the Ye Mala Bear shirts are now available.
I'm gonna get one, man.
Yo, these is fire. I ordered mine. These is fire, man. These are amazing. It says "Make America Love Again" with the Yeezy Bear. Yo, cop that right now. The link is in the description box. Make sure y'all get yourselves one.
Yeah. So while I wait for the MAGA Yeezys, man, he's actually now there's talk. He's trying to get Colin Kaepernick and Donald Trump in the same room. He's trying to get a meetup. What's going on, man?
Well, Kanye is playing peacemaker. He's the only one with visibility trying to play peacemaker. We saw that when he had the MAGA hat on and the Kaepernick shirt. And really, it's actually intelligent because what it's going to do is it's going to expose a lot of people. It's going to expose a lot of Americans. And it'll show people that you really don't want to have bipartisanship. You really don't want to have peace. You just want to be right. You just want to have your own way. And that's not good for America. But what we're going to find out is it's going to be a landslide as far as the ratio was concerned between left and right that actually want to sit down and have a bipartisan conversation. It's going to expose the fact that the left doesn't want to come to the table. I can't even get a leftist to come on my YouTube channel. I've been trying for 4 years now, and I still can't get one to come. But I think it's brilliant. The thing is, we got to understand this. Kaepernick ain't going to see Trump.
No.
He ain't going. His handler's not going to let him. Nike ain't going to go let him. The black left ain't going to go let him. Matter of fact, Ebro said, Ebro going to respond, his punk ass. Ebro going to be like, oh, we not going to meet with Trump. What? Like, you sound like a girl. You sound like a female. We not going, but it's nothing to talk about. Sound like a black chick. That's what Ebro sounds like. A man doesn't say stuff like that. A man says, well, I got problems with you. We're going to sit down. We either going to talk about it or we going to knuckle up. Now, we're not going to knuckle up with the president, obviously, but a man is going to say, look, I don't like what you're doing. We're going to have a man to man. We don't say, oh, we got nothing to talk about. You a little bitch, man. The left is full of soy and estrogen, yo.
Yeah, you're right, man. They're not going to let Colin X meet with him because one of the things you said is Nike is not going to let him. And that's the thing I had problems with Nike getting involved in any of this is now Nike is going to start calling shots. You know what I mean? If they go to their advertising people like, well, what if he goes and meets with Trump? What does it look like for our product? And they're like, oh hell no, that's minus 15% off rent. What are they going to say to Colin? They were like, hell no, you can't be with Donald Trump. See, this is where they back themselves in the corner, co-signing this Nike shit. Man. Now Nike is running the goddamn thing. They've always said that how do you lead? How do you control a resistance or a movement? You fucking lead it your goddamn self. This is basic 101 shit. Yeah. You know what I mean, we should learn this shit in fucking elementary school.
Yeah.
And people can't see this shit. Of course, Kaepernick is not going to meet one. Of course, Ebro going to come out, you know what I mean, and say, oh, we're not meeting with him. You know what I mean? I almost expect Jay-Z to come out. You know, he already gave a bar. I won't even, presidents tweet me out. I don't even meet with him. Like, all this, like, why? So you mean for 8 years, potentially 8 years, we're not going to have anything to do with the White House. We're not going to have an ear with the White House. Only one that can go to the White House is Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. I can't make this up, man. What is wrong with the Nogs, man?
Yo, Kim K. Oh my God, Kim K. got more balls. Got more. She's done more for Black people this year than any celebrity, as far as on a national scale is concerned. Right? Going in and doing the impossible. I'm not talking about donations and little shit you do in the hoods that you help out. That stuff you got to do. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about doing the impossible. She walks up in the White House and just getting niggas out of jail.
Yeah.
This is something that any Black celebrity could have done. They said, oh, it's just because she's Kim K. I'm like, no. Any Black celebrity could have done this. It's just that they're too scared to walk into the White House and be seen with Trump because you foolish Blacks on the left will cancel them and you'll hurt their pockets. It's sad that we can't go meet with the president to have a discussion to get Black people out of jail. We can't go sit with the president of the United States to get Black people out of jail because Black people will hurt your pockets. Make that make sense, yo. Make that make sense. This is what's wrong with Black people. We shoot ourselves in the foot. I hate it, yo. And I just want to say something real quick about Jay-Z. Jay-Z's undercover Hotep. Beyonce shows hints of undercover Hotep. Jay-Z and Beyonce took Hillary money. Let's just be honest about that.
Right.
Jay-Z, he said on record, I'm raping Def Jam till I'm the 100 million man. If you cut the check, Jay-Z gonna take it. Beyonce did a health campaign about being healthy and took Pepsi money. So we already know if you cut the check, Beyonce and Jay-Z ain't no fools. They gonna take it. Behind the scenes, though, Jay-Z's Hotep. You see it with his 5% medallion, hanging out with Jay Electronica, going on stage with Jay Electronica and the Nation of Islam. So Jay-Z, we're claiming him as Hotep. But when he goes out there and speaks, he ain't gonna talk about he again. They can't hurt their bottom line because they got that Live Nation contract and a whole lot of other contracts. Budweiser, you know what I mean? There's a lot of big money floating around that they can't hurt.
Yeah, he's obviously playing the game a little bit. You know, he's got a lot of he's got his hands in a lot of stuff. You know, so he's got to play ball a little bit. I can't fault him for that, but. I gotta get support out to Kanye West. Keep it going.
Kanye to go.
Yay. My fault, man. My fault, yay. My fault. You're yay now. I ain't mean to call you Kanye. Yay. Keep going, doing God's work out there.
He the new Tupac.
New Pac.
Like, yo, Kanye's got to be protected because he's moving into that. I don't want to say it, but he moving into that zone. You know what zone I'm talking about. And he got to be careful. We got to protect Kanye. Kanye, protect yourself because you're moving into that Tupac zone right now. And he all we got.
Yeah, you know what? I had those same feelings. I'm like, man, Kanye better slow down, man. I think they might start looking at him like, oh, we got to shut this boy up, man.
They're gonna have to.
We'll see.
The thing is this: the reason why I say his life is safe is because the media isn't what it used to be, and their power over people is so strong that Kanye's not even really being heard. He's not even really like waking up too many people,
right?
But he is gaining power. You see them shoes are still selling.
They definitely selling, man. I'm gonna have to get them drawn.
The records is the music's still selling. He owe us an album too. We waiting on that Yandi.
Yeah. Oh, Black Friday, I think, isn't it? Is that what he's
Black Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, off of Kanye, on to Freddie Trump. Fred Trump, the late father of one President 4-5, Donald Trump. You know, the media in their zeal and their zest to find something on President Trump, they went through his IRS records, and I think allegedly, his Donald Trump's sister had tipped him off to this or something like that. I don't know. But allegedly, he was giving money. He was basically working within the tax structure to keep money out of the government's pockets and keep it into his family's pockets. And somehow, that's a bad thing. I mean, I don't understand it. To me, I'm like, I'm reading the story, I'm like, well, he's a smart man. Well, Fred Trump is pretty smart. You know what I mean? He's a great dad. I'm like, what do y'all want him to do? Just give the government your money? You're supposed to do whatever it takes within the frameworks of the tax code to keep your money. Just because they do it a lot better than the average person doesn't mean they're cheats or anything like that. They're working with this in the system. And I don't understand how they categorize it as scheme and stuff like that, like it's cheating when the IRS didn't do anything. And the IRS is, if you owe money to the IRS, they're going to come get it. You know what I'm saying? So if they didn't come get it, what is the big deal?
Remember when GE was exposed for not paying taxes, and I want to say Apple was exposed for not paying taxes? Well, let me tell you a story about this Asian dude I met once. I was in New York City. We were performing at a bar that night. This is when I was a rapper. And Chinese dude, we started talking about taxes. And he basically said that you don't have to pay taxes in America. Pay taxes in America. You have to pay an accountant that used to work for the IRS. And basically what happens is the accountants that used to work for the IRS know the loopholes in the tax system. These people cost about $500 an hour. So if you have the money to pay $500 an hour, which is probably more now because this was a few years ago. It is probably more than 7-8 years ago. If you have that money to pay the accountant, you ain't got to pay too much taxes in America. You can hide your money from the IRS. You see, the system is set up for the smart to win. System is set up for the hustlers to win. And you could win in this system. But I think all this goes back to the fact that the left got the Mr. Fantastic reach on this week. They done reached all the way underground and dug a dead body to find something to complain about. When I heard the story, I didn't even click on no media links. I ain't do no one. Usually I like, try to read up on it. I'm like, I ain't want to hear about it, yo. This dude is dead, yo. He dead. Well, that means Trump's dad didn't give him more than $1 million. Who cares how much money his dad gave him? I don't care. My daddy ain't give me $1 million. That's the only thing I care about. You know what I'm saying? My dad did hook me up with a lot of bread. But I didn't get $1 million. So what do I care about Trump's money? Right? It just doesn't make any sense. People is pocket watching. So, and the other thing is like black people's complaining about it. It's like, y'all need to take this as a lesson and understand that you need to start thinking about generational wealth, passing down your wealth generationally, and stop leaving behind debt to your grandchildren and your great-great-grandchildren and your children. A lot of us can't even afford to bury our dead, let alone inherit some money. You see what I'm saying? when my grandfather passed away, he owned I want to say it was a 5-story brownstone in Brooklyn. 5-story brownstone in Brooklyn he left. He left me land. I got land right now in New Jersey that I'm just waiting on. You see, that's the other thing. A lot of people got microwave patience. You know what I mean? I got old man patience. But I got land out here in Jersey that my grandfather left for me. You see what I'm saying? And when my parents, God forbid, the day they pass on, there's a wealth of inheritance. I'm gonna inherit well over $1 million. So I'm gonna be having that Donald Trump talk. Like, yeah, my parents left me a couple of mil. You know what I'm saying? But it's like black people complain about shit when they need to be taking lessons.
Yeah, definitely, you gotta be taking lessons, and you can always scale it down too. You know what I mean? I mean, so what? You don't have $1 million to leave to your kids or whatever, your grandkids or anything like that. I mean, it can be 100,000, it can be 200,000, and we just got to start moving it forward. You know what I'm saying? And this is not where we're at. We're sitting there crying about. We should, like you said, we should be taking lessons of what Fred Trump did. You know what I mean? We should be taking lessons from that. I salute the Trumps for that. You know, and that just shows you he was a good father, and you know, and Trump is a good father. You know what I'm saying? He's got his children set up pretty much the same way. They're going to be wealthy beyond whatever, and they're going to be powerful people.
I want to know when we going to audit Sean King. When are we going to audit him in the Tamir Rice donations? When are we going to audit him and the little Haitian girl donations? When are we going to audit Hillary Clinton and the Uranium One deal? When are we going to audit Hillary and the Haitian monies?
Definitely.
They don't want to audit that though.
They don't want to audit the Clinton Foundation. Thanks to Keith Drummond for a super chat. Can't catch y'all live tonight, but I know y'all bring the heat. All the best. Thank you, Keith Drummond.
Then he dropped us a super chat and isn't even watching. Yo, that's love. Yo, shout out to Keith, man. You are the truth.
Yeah, appreciate it. Everybody, if you come in the room, this is Hotep's Been Told Ya. We're here live Thursday nights, every Thursday at 8, episode 15. Hit the thumbs up. 96 watching. Hit that spam that thumbs up button. Help us get the word out.
China.
Go ahead.
You know, when we talk about this generational wealth thing, think about what I said earlier with China, where China basically said, we'll build this stadium for you now and wait to find some natural resources. They're willing to wait. They're willing to wait and sit on it. Like, they don't even know if it's there.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've done some like.
Yeah, they kind of know it's there.
They know it's something there, right? They probably did some satellite beaming technology, sonar bouncing signals type technology thing. So they know something's there. And they're like, yo, you know, when we find it, that's our shit.
That is crazy, man. They really, you know, I salute the Chinese, the Asian, you know, they think strategically.
You need that patience. And that's the thing with the right. We need that patience too, man.
Definitely. Let's get into Jamilah Lemieux, Tariq Nasheed. There was a woke Twitter world war. Tariq Nasheed called out Jamilah Lemieux for using the term Negroid. Like when she was talking about black men that didn't like agree with the Cosby case or whatever like that. She was like, oh, these Negroids out here. You know, and some people, you know, Tariq was like, why she's using an insult, you know what I mean? To me, I mean, you can, her intention was insult, but I mean, I wouldn't take it as an insult. If I'm a Negroid, I'm a Negroid. What do you want me to do? But her intention was insult. But you know, Tariq Nasheed, man, you can't, if you go on a step to Tariq Nasheed, even though I don't dislike him, I dislike some of his ways. Let me put it this way. Some of his ways, but if you go to war with Tariq Nasheed, he got a ton of followers and he got some resources online. So he dug up the past with Jamilah. But come to find out, her dad is like, I don't know what. Either he's passing or he's white. So he was in the Black Panther Party way back in the day, and he got out the Black Panther Party when it disbanded. He went to Chicago Police Department. So they look up his record in the Chicago Police Department. He's one of those cops that was beating niggas' ass.
Hold on, we gotta do another screen there.
He was wearing brothers out. And people and Jamilah's all shook because now everybody's jumping. People are moving away from these black feminists. People are calling them out for what they're bashing men. And people are getting sick and tired of it, man. What do you think of this situation, man?
First of all, I just want to say I do not like Tariq Nasheed. And I don't like him for the simple fact that he purposely misleads our people. But here's David Lemieux. It looks like he's reached the rank of detective here. 25 allegations, which places him in 83%, more than 83% of other officers. Wow. You was getting your white supremacy on. Let's see. What are the charges? Use of force, illegal search, operation personnel violations, use of force. He was whooping ass. Conduct unbecoming of off-duty officers. This is in the 90s too. Wasn't that like right around Rodney King?
Yeah.
Damn.
91, yeah.
Operations, use of force, illegal search. Man, he's got a long rap sheet. Let's say that. Now let's see what this gentleman. Whoa. Whoa. Is that a Negroid? I'm not sure if that's a Negroid or not. Whoa. I don't know. That does not look like a Negroid.
Are you serious, man?
That hair looks a little fine to me. I don't know. This looks like a case of the Sean King. That's not a black man. I don't see a black man on the screen. We're gonna go ahead and close the case and say, did everybody see that? Did the chat see that?
Yeah.
Did they see that? Did the chat see that? I just want to make sure that the chat saw this white man. You know what I'm saying? First of all, that's not even a Kango. That's not a Kango. So he's perpetrating. You know, old black heads rock Kango. There's no Kango. Where's the kangaroo symbol? Perpetrating. You got a what's that quilt behind you?
He got quilt on the goddamn wall, man. Oh my God, man.
That's not black culture. Not black culture. That's not black culture. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and say this. He's not a brother. He's not one of us. We're not claiming Jamilah Lemieux's father as part of the Negroid race.
But, you know, all that aside, you know, I'm not going to blame her who her father was. But I'm saying is, if his police record, what we saw, did that have influence on how Jamilah views black men? Because I think... I think he was out there beating black brothers, Negroes' asses, and bringing it home, and that stuff rubbed off on Jamilah, and that's why she's so anti-black men, because her father was.
Her father was going down the street, whooping on brothers, coming home and telling Jamilah, like, guess how many niggas' ass I whooped today? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a nigga by his toe. That's what he was, when she was a baby, that's what he was playing with her toes. It was no piggy. It was eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a nigga by. So that's why she hate black men.
And then, so Tariq, all of Tariq's people was getting on her, right? You know, Tariq has a strong fan base on the internet, on Twitter. And she sent out a bat signal. She called all her black liberal friends like, hey, all these bylines I read for you guys, you better have my back. And here comes Mark Lamont Hill. He goes after Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed fired shots at him. The dude from Marrow, Deuce and Marrow, he goes out and tries to save Jamilah, because they all the black liberals that Jamilah was friends with, she called out the backs and they tried to come to her aid. So people were shooting at them too.
Remember Jamilah was able to get that Breakfast Club in the interview.
Right. Yeah.
Like on call, like off of Twitter, like y'all need to bring us on the show.
That's right, because then the Tommy Lauren went on and they were mad. They were like, well, you better bring us on. And that's what what's the name did.
Yeah, because Jamilah Lemieux was high up in Ebony magazine. And if you ever want to be or become a stain or get any stain in black culture, you got to get the Ebony magazine look. You got to get the Jet magazine look. If you don't get that, you kind of don't exist in black culture. I'm pretty much never going to exist in black culture because I'm right wing. But she had that media pull. She had people in high places to where she probably helped Jesus and Merrill get one of them, you know, made a phone call to get that show popping. You know what I mean? She's made phone calls for people. So she's got that pull. So where, you know, all those people, you know, she just put that like, yo, look, you know, that bat signal went out and they came. But remember, her brother Corn was caught up in the whole sexual assault scandal at the whatever gathering they had, right? She had to disavow Corn, but she did that quietly. Nobody made a big fuss about that. But that was her homeboy. She got pictures with him. DeRay got pictures with him. And this dude was sexually assaulting women at a party, cut the lights off on the pool table. In too deep. Pool stick in the booty style. You know I'm not PC. Ain't never been PC, ain't never gonna be PC. Until I run for Senate, then I'm gonna have to get like a piece. Shit like that. Yo, you know who I need, yo? Who? I need CJ Pearson to teach me, man. Yo, CJ Pearson, when he get in front of that mic, he sound like Obama to me, yo. Yeah. Yo, he got his script ready. His voice is like nice and Caucasian. The bass is completely removed. And I'm just like, wow, like, you got to teach me that shit, little bro. Like, and he says all the right key words. You know what I mean? He's like, today in America, there was an atrocity. This is atrocious. And I'm just like, damn, he hitting all the hot buttons. I need that type of training before I go for Senate because I'm just really raw and too crude for Senate. But anyway, back to the point. Jamilah Lemieux and Tariq Nasheed are a problem for the black community because both of them mislead, and they mislead us in separate directions. Tariq Nasheed is leading us in like this liberal Hotep direction. It's like his doctrine is Hotep, but his philosophy is liberal, you know? And it's kind of weird how that mixes because all he does is complain about white people. And we've made it clear that that's been removed from Hotep culture. Like, we're not complaining. We're just going to grasp our power. So, you know, pretty much he just makes his shekels off of complaining about white people, and Jamilah makes her shekels off of complaining about black men. You know, so it's pretty much two people that get paid to complain about people. Yeah. Which is, you know, whatever. There's nothing empowering there. I just enjoyed watching the fireworks from the sidelines because I don't like either of them. You know? Jamilah had me blocked because I called her a queen, and Tariq Nasheed just unblocked me. I don't know. It's corny to me though. Tariq was right though. Tariq's right in this situation. He calling her out for the agent that she is. She becoming that black man, and somebody got to check her. And Tariq Nasheed happened to be the guy to check her that day.
Yeah, so it's a backhanded salute to Tariq. Thank you, brother. The clock is right. Broke clock is right twice. Now, another black feminist situation. Scotty Beam. There's a new show, State of the Culture. Joe Budden. He's the hottest thing. He's hotter than fish grease. In the media, and they were discussing Bill Cosby. People hate Scotty Beam, and Remy Ma was actually taking the Hotep stance on Bill Cosby, and they don't know what to do with it. But if you look at, and this is why I think black feminism is kind of dying, is because everybody, if you look at the comments, everybody's hating Scotty Beam. They're like, no, man, get her out of here. She stinks. She's annoying. Just like people couldn't wait to hop on Jamilah. So people are starting to hop back on these black feminists. It's been a couple years too late. We was taking, remember we was taking all the shots? Remember they hit this.
Bruh, you know how much shots we took for black culture for a year straight? Yo, my mentions, I remember one day I said something, I couldn't tweet for the rest of the day. We took a lot of bullets for the culture, yo. I don't know, yo. If y'all wasn't there during the early days, you have no idea what we went through to get here.
Yeah, so we definitely was taking bullets, but I'm glad to see the bullets were being fired back, man.
Absolutely, it's about time the black community woke up slowly but surely. Only like 3-4 years late, but it's just like what happens is when you see that platform. See, the thing is, we see stuff before it happens. And the black community sees stuff when it's too late. So when the black community finally sees it on a large platform, they go, what the fuck is this shit? And we like, nigga, this the shit we was trying to tell you about, stupid. You know what I mean? When y'all was so busy siding with other motherfuckers talking about we haters, this is exactly what we were talking about. This is exactly what we were trying to warn you about. It's disgusting. And shout out to Remy Ma for taking a stance. And I just want to say something. When I was talking about the whole Bill Cosby situation, I got pushed back from the right. And, they were like, oh, he's a rapist. He's a monster. And I'm just like, look, I'm not here to talk about that. What I'm talking about is the fact that he's in the same boat as Kavanaugh. Meanwhile, you got Harvey Weinstein and Keith Ellison goes under the radar. Yeah. All we're saying is make it equal across the board. If we're going to attack Bill, we got to get Weinstein behind bars. If we're going to attack Kavanaugh, we got to get at Keith Ellison. We got to do some investigation. That's all we're saying. We're not saying Bill is completely innocent. Nobody's saying that. What we're saying is Bill is being targeted, and that's two completely different things. Yeah. Bill is being targeted, and Kavanaugh was being targeted.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious as day, and a lot of people were saying about, real quick on Bill, like, oh, there were 60 people, I'm like, that doesn't necessarily prove anything, man. I mean, my thing is this, like, it's just like OJ, like he got away with murder, right? But when they stole his stuff and he tried to get it back, then they hemmed him up because of the murder. You can't do, that's not fair. Yeah. You try them for what they're trying for. Now he was tried with Constant, whatever her name is. They shared gifts after the incident. I was like, how do you share Christmas gifts with a person you say assaulted you?
Right.
So I'm like, I would never say he's guilty. I'm like, that there's something wrong there. But charge him, if you're going to judge him, you can't judge him on past accusations. That's not how it's supposed to work. Judge him on the evidence for this particular case, and that's it. That's all I would say.
If Soros can bust 1,000 people to a protest, I'm sure that the media conglomerate can come up with 60 women to make up a lie.
Yeah.
We got to cover Maxine Waters and Amy Schumer, right?
Yeah. John J., thanks for the donation.
John J. I know you ain't been cheating on us again. What shows you watching today?
This guy slips up and says the wrong thing, and Mr. Goldberg will be at his house ready to put the AIDS virus in his ETE style.
John J. Super woke. Super woke.
Okay, Kavanaugh. Amy Schumer got locked up, man. She protesting Kavanaugh, man. This Kavanaugh story's been the longest story ever, man. This is crazy.
Yeah, they locked their ass up.
Did you see the video? Oh, do you want to be arrested? Yes. Like, who the hell goes like, do you want to arrest me? Amy, you're supposed to take off running when it's like, no, I don't want to be locked up. What is with this BS, man? I couldn't believe it.
That's the narcissistic victim complex. It's like, do you want me to arrest you? Yes, I want to be a victim, so I got something to talk about.
Yeah.
So I got something for people to give me sympathy about. Like, oh my gosh, you shouldn't get locked up. She said yes. What do you mean? If the cop asks you want to get locked up and you say yes, you're getting locked up. The same thing happens to brothers. They did that to the dude at the airport. It's like, you want me to lock you up? He's like, go ahead, lock me up. Okay, give me your ass. You're allowed to say don't arrest me. But if you say arrest me, they're gonna arrest you. Like, what'd you expect to happen? But again, this is the intolerant left. You knew they was gonna protest. I said it this morning. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, can you hear the sounds of the liberal brains exploding, getting ready to because the FBI had exonerated
Kavanaugh.
I knew it was coming. You know what I mean? And here they go protesting, wasting time, trying to get that media money.
You think they go wild out if they nominate him? I've seen some people saying though, if they nominate him, we're ready to go. We're ready to go where? What y'all doing?
They might appeal it. Can they appeal it? They might try to appeal. They're gonna fight. You know, the left gonna fight. They're gonna fight and lose.
They're gonna take it to the streets, man.
They're not gonna take it if they take it to the streets, that's a battle they're gonna lose. I'm gonna make one phone call to the homies in Arizona, and that fight gonna be done. The left don't want that fight. We got armed militia in Arizona right now in the desert training. This is a former Navy SEAL type cats training. Them white motherfuckers out there is crazy. They waiting to shoot. They waiting for the left to violate the law. They gonna put a bullet through somebody's head. You lost one civil war, don't lose another one. And black people shoot sideways, so we ain't gonna be good for the civil war. I'm moving to Africa when that shit pop off. I'm gonna watch that shit from my Chinese TV.
Yeah, but I mean, are you surprised they're taking such a stand with Kavanaugh, man? This is like unprecedented stand here.
It's definitely unprecedented. I'm not surprised. I mean, the left gonna bitch and complain about every loss they take.
Yeah.
The only reason why we're winning is because we have somewhat sensible people who understand that when they go back home to their states, when these senators go back home to their states, they're gonna have to answer to a lot of people, and so they're gonna have to vote righteously. And if they didn't allow him in, I think it could have really upset a lot of people that they don't want to upset. So if the government itself wants to hold any sort of integrity, they had to pass him along. Definitely. Otherwise, they just be, a media puppet, and then they would just make Alex Jones right.
Yeah, definitely, because it looks like she was trained in it. I think Diana Feinstein, she said she doesn't want the FBI report to be made public, and I found I'm like, why? If you're the one making the accusation, why wouldn't you want to make it public?
Yo, who was the other person they was trying to get the FBI investigation on?
Oh, I don't know. With this case?
No, it wasn't Kavanaugh. Somebody I want to say last year they was like, and then the FBI investigation was all good then, but now the FBI investigation is not cool now.
I think that was to do with Comey.
Yeah, I think it was the whole Comey situation, right? So the investigation was cool then, but now the investigation is not cool now. You see how they play that double standard, moving the goalposts every single time.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, that's an hour. Thanks.
Hold
Thanks.
up, we got to talk about Maxine Waters. Two
Okay.
seconds. That Maxine Waters, you're going to jail. It's like now I don't know if she's going to jail, but Maxine Waters got hit with three ethics violation charges. And basically, it says CBS News reports that the charges related to whether Waters gave inappropriate assistance to a bank that got federal bailout money. Woo, banks got bailed out, the people got sold out, into which she had personal connections. The ethics committee charged that Waters organized a meeting in 2008 between Treasury officials and executives from One United Bank, where her husband was once a board member and had large investments. I believe that's a black bank. The bank received $12 million from the federal government's Troubled Asset Relief Program. Waters serves on the House Financial Services Committee, and there have been rumors for some time that she had acted inappropriately regarding the bailout funds. According to CBS, Waters has defended her request for the meeting between Treasury officials and One United executives as part of her efforts to advocate on behalf of minority-owned businesses. She maintains she is innocent of any wrongdoing. The charges are that she violated a House rule that members must behave at all times in a manner that shall reflect credibility in the House, that she violated the spirit of the House rule that prohibits a member from receiving compensation for exerting improper influence from her position in Congress, and that she violated the code of ethics for government service. Maxine Waters for jail. That's the new hashtag.
Yo, what happened to Maxine? I was watching. There was a Dr. Khalid Muhammad. Remember when the government tried to censor him for that speech he made?
Yeah.
And he was talking about, because Maxine was in the government way back then. And she was like, she was like, we're talking about you in the Congress now. You didn't think I was going to vote against you. You know what I mean? That's what Dr. Clint says she said. So what happened to Maxine Waters?
Wait, Maxine was on his side?
Yeah, when they did the vote, that could have been just a free speech thing,
right?
But they didn't vote against Dr. Khalid on that.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. Black people used to be Hotep. You know what I mean? Like the 90s, in the 80s, we had the Hotep was rising. I'll say that. I'm not gonna say we was Hotep because we wasn't full Hotep. We had a lot of black shills in the Democrat world. Had a lot of black liberals, but we were rising. The Hotep influence was rising, and Maxine Waters lost her way, man. Them Democrat dollars call shots.
She up there getting rich,
getting paid.
Well, anyway, man, that's another episode in the books, man. What you got going on, man, this week?
YouTube coin. Link is in the box. HTP Jesus is a discount code. It's 10 cents for the coin. It's the ICO popping to empower YouTube creators. We got a special Hotep announcement coming out next week. What you got? You got anything coming up?
Nah, man. Just check my YouTube, my blog, man. I got nothing coming up. I think I might do an interview next week, but just check out my YouTube. I'll pass on the information.
Oh yeah. My boo Stacy Dash is gonna be at YBLS. I'm trying to bag that. For the culture.
For the culture.
I'll see you next week, yo.
All right, man. Thanks, everyone.